Choosing the right niche for your business is so important. And honestly, many entrepreneurs struggle with this. And I think it is because we are all multi talented and multi passionate, and we don't want to choose wrong. I have done that plenty of times, more times than I care to admit. And so today on the Key and Kelly podcast, we're going to talk all about choosing the right niche for your business and answering a lot of questions that I usually get on Instagram. Welcome back to another episode of the Key and Kelly podcast. I'm excited to be here with you today. Today, we're going to be talking about, have you chosen the right niche for your business, how to get on track with that, and then if you're brand new and you're starting a business, how to really choose which niche to go with. Now, I will say that I am very excited because we are going into our 3-day vertical video challenge, which basically starts in just a couple of weeks. And so we're like really talking about it to everybody that is listening. And so if you are someone and you're like, hey, I want to get started with short video, then of course in the podcast, you're going to hear me talk about it. But right now, there's a link in the show notes. It is keyandkelly.com/challenge. And you can learn about that, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. But I'm super excited as I'm recording this episode. So let's go. So when it comes to choosing a niche, let's kind of talk about that. So when I look at the word niche, that's a fancy word for saying what your business is going to be. Okay, that's how I kind of look at it, as what is your business going to be? Like, what aspect of you, what aspect of your past, your experience, your passions is your business going to be about? And I think that one of the reasons why many of us struggle with choosing this is because, if I can be honest, we don't know what we're doing, right? So let me, I don't mean it offensively, but let me explain. So we go to school, right? And we are told that we're gonna be in these particular subjects, right? And then we go to home ec, and then we go to shop class, or whatever they call it today. You know, there's all these different classes that you go to. And then you're told to go towards some type of path based upon how you test or what the teachers are saying or whatever. And then you get to college, if you go to college, and now you got to choose even the more to go down a certain path when you're going into college, right? You know, if you go and get a job right out of school, then you're in that lane or whatever. And so we're taught how to have a job, right? And there's nothing wrong with having a job. I'm just explaining. So when it comes to having a job, we typically have one thing that we do. Like if you are in IT, then you're in information technology. If you're in sales, then you're in sales. If you're in whatever it is you do, you're in that particular thing. There's a job that you do. But when it comes to having a business, that's a whole thing. You are now the one that is creating jobs for other people, okay? And so it can be very overwhelming. It can be very scary to choose a niche because you're like, what if I get it wrong? What if I start working on this thing and nobody buys? There's all these factors that go along with choosing the business, right? Like if you are like, yes, I agree, then just type amen. Like those of you all watching on YouTube, just type amen. Because like, I know how it is for me. Like I remember when I was most scared, I think probably in around 2019, 18, because at the time I had my brand design business, right? And that's how I made money. I hadn't had a job in some years, and I was unhappy with that business, okay? And one of the reasons I was so unhappy was because I loved selling it, right? I loved the end result when the website was done, when the logo was done, or the thing that our client hired us to do. I loved when it was done, but I did not enjoy the in between. Why? Because there were aspects that we did for the client, but there were other aspects that we needed the client to get things to us. And it was such a push and pull. It was hard to run that business that way, you know. And so when I considered shifting into a different business model, I honestly was freaking out, right? I knew I could continue to teach personal branding. I knew I could do that, But I was like, I don't know if that's what I want to do. I just did not know if that's what I wanted to continue doing. And when God invited me to start using TikTok, and then at the end of the year, I felt this tug of like, stop doing design and focus on teaching TikTok marketing. I was panic stricken. I remember I was talking to my friend Shalene, and I was trying to get her to basically tell me what niche to choose. That's what I basically was trying to do. And she could not choose that for me. The thing that she had told me I should do, I was like, it just did not resonate with me. It just was not what I wanted to do, but I still couldn't figure out what did I actually want to do. And she said something to me. She said, Kenya, you have to be willing to marry a thing, right? You got to be willing to marry it for a while, for a couple of years. And if it does not work out, then you can choose something else. But I was more so afraid of the not working out because I didn't have a savings. I didn't have a husband. I don't have a trust. I don't have family members I can call and ask money from. So it was like, to me, in my mind, it was do or die. Like it was just do or die. Like, this is so funny. It's happening in my head, but I'm going to say it out loud. Any of y'all remember in the 90s, what's that music group called? It was Bone Thugs and Harmony. Do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? Is that the song? Do or Die? It's like, do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? Chop it up, it's do or die. That's like literally what's playing in my head right now. So if you know what I'm talking about, and you're on YouTube, I want you to find the link to the video and I want you to post it in the comments. I just think it's really funny. Those of you guys listening on the podcast, you're missing out. You're missing out because you can see me on video and somebody on YouTube is going to post that link. Okay, but anyway, it literally felt like it was do or die. And I mostly felt like I was going to die, right? In terms of my business, being homeless and all these different feelings that I felt around choosing a different niche. And so when I talk to my clients, I understand because I have been there plenty of times, right? And I understand when I was thinking about today's episode about did you choose the right niche for your business? The truth is, to answer that question is, you will not know if you chose the right niche for your business until you try. Right? You will not know until you try, right? It's like going out on a date. So I am in a season where I just got back on online dating. God has not rebuked me recently with it. So I'm like, okay. And I am just having conversations with everybody. As long as they are Christian, I'm having conversations with everybody. Some of them are outside of my age range. Some of them are outside of things that I look for. Some of them are outside of it. But what I'm doing is I'm like, just have conversations. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's not do or die. You're just talking to men. You're going to eventually go and have a drink with a man. You're going to eventually go and have lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever with a man. You're eventually going to walk the beach with a man, but it's not do or die. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, it's fine. I don't know if you are someone I'd be interested in until I go out with you, until I text you, until I talk to you on the phone. I don't know. And so when I'm thinking about you and your business and your niche, like, you won't really know what you enjoy until you try, okay? Now, listen, if you are full-time, it's a little bit more at stake because you're full-time. That's how you make money. But if you're someone and you have a job and you have a business, it's a little bit less pressure on you, but both of you have to at least choose something and go down a road, right? So I've been working with one of my clients and I was explaining to her, I said, here's what you want to do in your business. And right now, take everybody. Because she was like, I don't know who to focus on. It's like, it's okay. Get your first 3 clients and then just focus on the experience you're having with them. Document what you like, what you don't like, what you enjoy about them and what you don't enjoy. And then you want to package it into the perfect client. Now, no client is going to be perfect, right? But I'll give you an example. So I mentioned it earlier. We are hosting our 3-day short form video challenge, which starts on Monday, August the 28th. And I did not know who my perfect person was for that challenge, all right, until I did the challenge previously. And so now my perfect person for this challenge is someone who loves social media, right? They love social media. They may not understand it completely, but they love social media. They love being on video, right? Well, they like being on video. Let me say that. They may not love it or like be as comfortable with it as I am, but they are okay with turning their camera selfie mode and trying, right? They are okay with learning more about video marketing. They are not fighting the short video marketing. They're not saying, why is every video 1 minute or less? Why are people doing 15 seconds? Why are they doing trends? No. This person says, well, that was cool. Like, how do I do that for my business? Right?
Short form video is the fastest, most creative way to reach your audience in 2023 on social media. But I guarantee you that you are having this moment in time of like, but how do I do it? Like, I'm already on camera, but I don't really understand how to turn what I do long form content into 15 seconds or 1 minute pieces of content. Well, I understand because I was just like you 3 years ago when I got started with TikTok when nobody was talking about it. But since then, we've made millions of dollars in my business and we've helped my clients, more importantly, make more money than us a lot faster because we have proven systems teaching you how to use short form video, whether that is Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or even Facebook Reels. This is what you need to learn in 2023 to have success. And so we are hosting a 3-day challenge where I'm going to teach you how to get started with short form video, not to mention how to make your videos go viral, but also fill your marketing funnels. Because it's one thing to go viral on social media, and it's another thing to reach your perfectly aligned client, generate leads to your email list, and then make money through automation. And so that is what we're going to be teaching in this challenge. One, I'm going to make sure that your business is ready and you have your funnel ready. Then I'm going to teach you the concepts of a short form video and then the types of content that actually works, and then strategies to actually sell your products, whether you are a product-based business, you're an influencer, or you are a coach or consultant just like me and you want to learn how to use short form video. So all you want to do is click the link below and join the challenge. It is going to be jam-packed full of information. I've been doing what I've been doing for 10 plus years and I'm not going to hold anything back. So go ahead, click the link below, register, and I cannot wait to see you in the challenge.
Right? My person is saying that, right? My person is also saying, I don't mind paying $47 to learn from you for 3 days for 3 hours. Kenya, you charge $500 an hour and I get to get you for 3 hours for $47? Right? But I did not know that was the person that I really, really enjoyed working with until I encountered the person who did not want to pay me, until I encountered the person who hates being on video, who always complains about social media, who always complains about the trends. I did not know any of that until I encountered them both. And then I said, ooh, I really like you. This is really good for me. Now, I have people who say, oh, yes, I want the ones who are not comfy on camera. Whatever, because everybody has their people that work best for them. And so that's the thing about you. And like, that's my audience. But that's the thing with choosing something. We won't know what to choose until we try, until we start going down this journey of doing a thing, creating a thing, being a thing, or whatever. Does that make sense? That's like, I recently started going to a church like late last year, and I didn't know which ministry I would want to be on, right? Until I started doing different ministries. And then I realized I really, really enjoy being on prayer team. Oh man, I love when someone comes up and I'm able to just stand there, hold their hands, and just say, God, can you please show up in this moment? I love just saying that, Holy Spirit, come. And then just standing there and then feeling the Holy Spirit come on my hands, on them crying. And I love that. But I wouldn't have known that if I stayed in the back, right? I wouldn't have known that if I stayed on whatever other, the choir or worship team. I wouldn't know that if I had not gone through these different processes, okay? So for you, if you're trying to figure out your niche in your business, it is really important for you to do a couple of things. One, if I was working with you and you were my client, I would say, if you got 10 phone calls today, okay, 10, back to back to back to back, and 9 out of 10 of them were asking you for the same thing. They wanted your help with the same thing. What would the top 3 things be that people will call you for? Right? So what are the top 3 reasons people need from you, want from you, that you may not be getting paid for right now? Right? And when I asked myself that a couple years ago, when someone asked me that, I said, marketing, branding, and prayer. I knew I wasn't going to charge for prayer. And so I was like, I wanted to go into branding, right? And that's what I did. And so today, when people reach out to me, what do they reach out to me for? 1, they want prayer and encouragement. 2, and it's marketing. I love them both, right? But it took me asking myself those questions like almost 10 years ago to like even figure out the possibilities of those things, right? And then starting down that journey with those things to then get to where we are today, and then trying to move forward and expanding, moving further, right? And so I need you to ask yourself, what are the top 3 reasons why people call you? And then when you look at those 3 things, which one of those things would you want to do for the next 3 to 5 years and get paid for it? Like, which one would you really want to do the next 3 to 5 years and get paid for it? That is the one you probably should start with, right? That is the one you probably should start with, because you already have an audience of people who want what it is you have to offer. You're just not getting paid because they get to call you for free. Let that sink in. They will pay you for it if you charge for it, but you're not charging that, and that's why they're just calling you on the phone, right? So people know you cannot call me for marketing help. You cannot call me for business advice. You are able to book a call with me for that. But if we are friends, you're calling me for me. You're calling me to see about me. I'm not going to give you, this is not how I operate, right? If I reach out to you and say I want to help, then that is totally different, right? But people aren't calling me, texting me all day, every day, asking me for TikTok help, asking me for Instagram Reels help. No, because that is my business, right? They are calling for prayer. They are calling for encouragement. They are calling because like, girl, I just got this cat. Why is this cat doing that? And I'm like, oh, and I'm explaining all these things about cats. And they're like, oh, or they are calling me for hair advice or whatever, you know what I mean? Because that is the entryway that I have created. But with business, or whatever. So, but years ago, people could call me, text me, and ask me all type of stuff, and I would just get it to them for free until I started creating a business out of it. And now I go, hey, I actually charge for that. If you want to book a call, we can do that. You're my girl, but my best friend, she can ask for advice, but we have boundaries. So she's not like calling, texting, asking for that all day, every day, but she does ask, and that's like my best friend. You know what I mean? So totally different. Okay. All right. So if you want to choose the best niche for your business, 1, start with what you're already doing for people. You're already doing it for free. That may be your thing. Or if you know that you really want to have an embroidery business, or you really want to drop ship jewelry, then start it, okay? You got to start somewhere, okay? Now, if you enjoyed this episode, I want you to let me know, and if you have additional questions, because one of the things I want to do with the podcast is I want to start getting guests on the podcast, but I need to know what you want to know. So if you respond to me like on Instagram or here on YouTube and you tell me this is what you want to know, then I can go and seek out guests to actually bring on the show, okay? And sometimes I can do episodes where it's like me just answering questions that I have been asked on social media, and then we could just make it a Q&A type of podcast episode, okay? So thank you so much for watching and listening.